I'm alright.
Good.
Yourself?
We're doing well. I don't know if Emmett has begun recording yet.
I am. I'm recording right now.
Great. All right. Well, Airline Food, welcome to the Unfazed Review podcast, specifically for our patrons / shirt homies. And you were
beautiful.
We did a fun little contest, just saying, hey, anyone who buys the shirt in X amount of time gets to come on the podcast. You were numero uno. And you were the only one that week who bought a shirt, so I was like, "Well, fuck! Either nobody loves us, but at least Airline Food does." Airline Food does. So, thank you for joining us, man. Tell us a little bit about you. I only know you virtually, so what's going on?
I'm just a uni student doing engineering.
Engineering, great.
That's amazing. What?
Yeah.
A bright young man.
A bright young man.
Yeah.
You know what was funny was I hope you take this as a compliment. Oh, Doombot is joining us as well. Thank you. Oh, lever action. Fuck yeah.
Oh, the party.
And the party has begun. All right, so we were saying that Airline Food kind of looks like an amalgamation of me and Emmett. There's like
That's true.
some
Yes,
similarities
you
in the facial features.
Yeah.
You know, you got Emmett's hair, you got some of my chin.
You're
going on.
our son.
You are
Yeah.
our son, yeah. That's a compliment.
Action,
Fuck
what's up, man?
yeah, there he is. There he is. This is what we wanted to see. You better not have pants on, man. Come on.
No, I don't.
Hell yeah! All right. That's what we like to see. Some true unfazed, unfazedness.
Beautiful.
Oh,
Hell yeah. What was that? He just fell into a black hole.
He did fall into a black hole.
Shit. Tell us about all the nerds in your engineering class. I'm sure there's some cool ones.
It's a lot of sweats. We call them that.
Okay. Do they wear sweatpants?
Yeah. No, they're just like guys at maths.
Oh. Why do they call them sweats?
Because they're sweaty.
Yeah.
They're always
yeah.
sweaty when they work. That's
Oh
how
my
it is.
god. I feel
Interesting.
Actually, one of my friends, he's a maths sweat.
Hey, Doombot, what's up?
hey.
How you doing, man? Thanks for joining us.
Good.
We're doing an impromptu little podcast, just for the
That's good, man. I was not ready for a call.
the closest homies.
Oh, sorry, man. It's okay. We just threw you in there. You can join if you want.
Yes.
Did you
No, I
say
appreciate it.
Airline Food that one of your friends is a sweat? A sweats?
Yeah.
Oh, is this a good thing or a
they're
bad
both pretty
thing?
bad.
It's pretty bad.
No, that was positive, but
Oh, okay.
it's not like me.
We got a sweat going on earlier. Emmett and I have started the Thomas Jane workout. Doombot and I did a talk about fitness recently.
Yeah.
And dude, it was fucking intense, man. I've been doing it for 2 weeks now. Can't really see a difference yet, but I can feel it.
Yeah.
And then Emmett, this was his first day trying it. And talk a little bit about the Thomas Jane workout.
A lot of soreness, a lot of having to take breaks and to kind of make sure the blood was flowing to my head. It was very intense. It was good though. It needed to happen. I've been very lazy all summer.
It was super good. It was super good. I think I dropped it in the 80s workout
Yes.
channel. But if not, I'll drop it again. But dude, super good workout. Like, I needed it. Like, I've been a fat slob, so like it's been feeling really good just to get back in the gym and start, at least get the gears in motion to get healthy. Maybe in like 2-3 months we'll see. But for now, it's just kind of just getting going, trying to get healthy.
Absolutely.
It's been good. It's been good.
Absolutely.
What are you doing, Doombot? Are you following through with your fitness commitments?
I've been doing a little bit of running. It's
Lever action.
Sorry.
Aggressively masturbating.
Running is good though. I love running. I miss running. I need to do more of it. I used to do it a lot, and it gets the ideas flowing. It gets your brain moving.
It really does.
Yeah, it's good.
So why Airline Food for the name? I want to hear the origin of everyone's like handle. Like Airline Food. We'll start with you. Also show off that sweet fucking shirt you got. Show off that sweet fucking Unfazed shirt. Look at that.
Oh, beautiful.
Represent.
Hell yeah. It looks so good. You'll get to see your
Seinfeld.
You'll get to see your family again, I swear.
I don't know. You haven't let me see him yet.
Soon. 2 more shirts. What were you saying though? I'm sorry. You said Seinfeld something?
Yeah, it's just like he says stuff like, what's the deal with airline food, or what's the deal with packing?
All right, Seinfeld. Heck yeah.
There you go. It's the
I like
best.
that. That's a good reference.
As you know, mutually our favorite show.
I love Seinfeld. I was watching it yesterday. Yeah.
It's a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece. Okay,
Yes.
that's a good origin. Doombot, where does that come from? Are you just a big Doctor Doom fan? I think we talked about this once. But tell
I don't really have a good story. I always liked that character, and I liked how he had these like stupid robots that are just copies of him that all think they're Doctor Doom also. So I don't know. I was like younger and thought it sounded cool, and
the
was one of those
original
things.
like Doombot I remember seeing was I had this VHS when I was a kid of the old school 80s Spider-Man, like the one that they did where it was like Spider-Man and then it didn't work and then they did like Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. It was like a real short-lived series. But I had one episode on VHS backed with the Incredible Hulk. So it was like these, you know, when you're kids, they're just like those cartoons you watch the shit out of.
Yeah,
Just on
yeah.
repeat.
Yeah.
That was one I watched the shit out of on repeat when I was like really little. And I remember the episode was Doctor Doom, Master of the World. And he had his Doombots. And in that cartoon, they were like these pink, awkward robots. Like these pink, awkward tin men. And I remember they were like, Doombots! And Spider-Man was like beating the shit out of them. And yeah, that's always what I think of when I see you.
That's good. Yeah, that's
It was
perfect.
good. It's perfect. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. Lever action wacky tobacco, aka managerial conclusions, aka Appalachian exploration,
AKA Kramer because of the hair.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
You're Feldman. You're Feldman.
You're Feldman, yeah.
What the fuck? Give us. I want to run down on. You're the Kramer of this group right now.
Yeah, you are.
Man.
Yes, I'm the George. He's the Jerry. I don't know what you guys want to be.
They're both Elaine.
You're both Elaine. Yeah, you're Elaine divided down the middle. So K-Man, what was the origin of each of those names? Appalachian exploration, managerial conclusions, lever action, wacky tobacco. Are you running from the law? What's the what's going on with all the names here? What do we got going on?
Well, I just keep getting screwed by YouTube because, you know, I make dumb comments on a lot of shit.
Like, actually, we don't want to get this video taken down, so...
You guys know my political views for the most part. I mean, I rant about it pretty frequently on the...
It's okay. It's all right.
Fine, yeah.
You're allowed to do it with us, yeah.
I get nuked frequently. My channels keep getting nuked.
Wow.
So, Appalachian exploration was, you know, pretty self-explanatory. I was exploring the Appalachians.
Okay.
And then managerial, or lever action's wacky tobacco is also the same, you know, lever action guns and weed.
Nice.
And then
Nice.
managerial conclusions is just a rip-off of another guy's channel, administrative results, who
Okay.
the reason I did that is because he changed his thing from executive outcomes to administrative results. So I was like, okay, the next step is managerial conclusions.
There you go. There you go. I like that a lot. What are we all drinking tonight? I'm being sober right now, and I'm having iced tea.
Wow.
But what are you having, gents?
Yeah.
Air, nice. But careful, if you take too much of it in, you'll get high. Be careful.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm just drinking rum.
Nice.
All right, a nice little glass
I
there.
thought
like
it was
that.
a Zinfandel. I wasn't sure.
Oh, the Zinfandels are in right now.
They are in.
Yeah.
They are in. A little dry.
A little too dry.
I used to like the Moscatos.
Moscato's nice.
That was
Yeah.
good. Doombot, what are you drinking? Anything?
Just water. I was considering. I was right before you called. I was trying to decide if I was gonna have a coffee or try to go to bed on time.
Wow. I'd
Oh.
say.
I like a really late night iced coffee for some
Yeah,
reason.
no, I get that.
craving
It's
for it.
always the forbidden fruit, you know.
Doombot, are you starting work back yet, or when is it coming up for you?
It's coming up. I got a few weeks here.
You got a few weeks. I got like 5 days. It sucks.
Oh really? Wow,
Yeah,
that's started early.
really early.
Wait,
yeah.
you're a teacher, right? Doombot?
Yeah, we're both teachers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I got a few weeks to go, so.
Good man. Party down.
Wow.
Wait, yeah,
very
school
exciting.
starts really early in Arizona. Around here,
It's early as shit.
it
Yeah,
doesn't start till September.
Wow.
That's great. That's
You guys have
amazing.
that
That's how it
spring-
should be.
Yeah.
Spring break, don't you?
You guys get out earlier too?
Yeah.
Airline food. You're at.
So cool.
It's winter for you, right?
Yeah.
Yes, midwinter.
How's that going?
Merry Christmas.
But Christmas over here is stinking hot. Yes,
So-
it's winter. No snow in Australia.
That's crazy.
It's
Does,
rain.
Does it snow in your region at all or no?
No, if you go to Victoria in the mountains, you get snow, but
Okay.
otherwise,
Have you ever been
rain.
snowboarding or skiing?
I've been skiing. Yeah, pretty good.
That's sick. That's cool. I'd love to go out to Australia one day. That's on my bucket list for sure. That's that in New Zealand I think would be sick. Have you been over to New Zealand?
No, I've never been overseas.
Let's make it happen, man. Let's go. Let's make it happen. So speaking of places to go and places to live, literally earlier today I saw a list of like the 10 worst places in America to live, and surprisingly I was actually really shocked. I forget who made the freaking list, but Texas was number 1 worst. Surprising, which I was shocked about. I thought Texas would be fucking sick. So I don't know if I agree with that list because there's parts of Texas we went to that were fucking awesome. But I guess it just, every list is subjective. But the second best place on that list was Maine.
Oh.
And I know Lever Action has a lot of Maine experience. Do you still live in Maine right now?
I live in Maine, and I also live in the abutting state as well.
Oh, dual homes. Very exciting. You summer in Maine and you winter in the neighboring state.
That's right.
Very cool.
I
Very
do
cool.
a little bit of zigzag,
That's
when I
very
get bored.
That's very exciting, man. Yeah, I've said this a million times on the podcast, but like the city life I'm getting burned out, man. Like it's not so much city life that I'm getting burned out. It's the shitty parts of city life, like
The shitty life.
the shitty life. Yeah, the crime, the inflation, yada yada, the traffic, the people. But I was talking to my buddy James. You guys have probably seen him in some videos. James, good guy. He and his wife just got back from Idaho, and he's like totally set on moving to Idaho now. He like fell in love with it. He like went to Idaho Falls, which I'm not familiar with at all. But they like went camping up there. They did like the national parks. They were gone for like 10 days. And he's like, dude, I'm moving there like 100%. Like he's like set on it. And I'm like,
gosh.
all right, cool, man. Like I'm like, hey, if it's that great, man, maybe I should go check it out,
I mean,
Idaho is nice, but it's expensive. Very expensive.
Yeah, I bet.
Really? Okay.
And there's a million places that are like better to move to, but
I'm sure. Yeah.
when you have like your family and your friends in a place,
For sure.
it's hard to compare to that.
It is, yeah. And it's tough here because it's like everyone we know, aside from you guys, is here,
Right,
so the family's here, everything like that. But I don't think it would be that hard to go somewhere else and try it out, even for a year. Just be like, fuck it, let's go to whatever, Texas, go to Maine, let's go to Vermont, whatever. Just I don't know about Vermont, but I think Vermont was number 1 on that list, actually.
Where was Arizona?
Didn't make any list.
No.
Somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
Yeah, somewhere in the middle.
Vermont, I feel like if Vermont's number 1, then whoever in Texas is the worst, then whoever made the list is an uber liberal.
I think you're right.
Just,
I think it was. I don't remember who wrote it, but it was probably Washington Post or one of those shit articles.
it's hard to
That's the bullshit.
Yeah, Washington Post is the fucking worst. Have you guys seen the fucking smut those idiots write? Like the Washington Post is like one of the shittiest fucking publications. Like,
Speaking of airline food, I wanted to ask you, how do people see, what is it called, like Sky
News.
Sky News? Yeah.
Sky
'Cause
News Australia.
We always see clips from them over here, and I know they're Australian. How are they perceived in Australia?
Are they legit?
I was actually thinking about this the other day. You got Sky News. People think that's like more on the white side. And then we got this thing over here called the Project. That's like really left. So it really, if you're in the middle, you wouldn't watch any of it.
Is Sky News like the Fox News of Australia?
Sky News, they were like more on Trump's side and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So that's like
for
Fox,
Sure. Yeah,
yeah.
that is very Fox.
That's
And then like CNN is like hardcore left.
So that would be
Yeah,
the other
so
one.
I like what it's like.
The Project.
Okay, cool.
Interesting. Do you have anything in the middle? Like, I notice at least a lot of the people that are like-minded like us, a lot of people fall more in the middle, but lean more right. But like they're more centrists or libertarian-minded. And what's crazy though is our media though tries to make it one or the other. It's like usually really hard left, or if you're watching Fox, not super hard right, but fairly right. And I feel like a lot of people just have a craving to be more in the middle, and like the media doesn't like even acknowledge that.
They don't want you to be,
Well, the thing about Australia is, even if you're on the right or the left, it's still, compared to like in America or something, it's more in the middle.
Yeah.
Like it's not as extreme. Like we don't have
Not as polarized.
crazy. Like
That's good.
yeah.
Yeah, what I don't
Or
like here is how
much
people.
smaller.
Sorry to talk over you, man. What I don't
That's
like
all
here
right.
is how people like get so fucking bent out of shape, especially people who are on the hard left. Like, they have a hard time having a civil conversation or a very civil debate. And I'm sure people on the very far right too. You know, it's hard for them to have civil discourse, and that just sucks, man. That sucks. That's why recently I've actually been really liking listening to RFK when he's been on talk shows and stuff.
Yeah, he's an interesting one.
And he's cool as far as a guy running on the left, running as a Democrat. Like, there's a lot of stuff that he says that I like. Where I'm like, oh, this guy like is like an old school Democrat, and like he's like making some sense. And like, the dream would be like if someone like RFK ran and someone like DeSantis ran, you know, or like that would be a cool ticket.
A tough decision.
Yeah, because you could just kind of relax either way. I'd be like, okay, whoever gets in, it's like I'm a little less stressed, you know, as opposed to, you know, Biden running or God forbid Kamala. You know,
I didn't even consider until you said it that RFK is running as a Democrat.
Yeah,
all this stuff I see, I almost subconsciously associated with the right.
Yeah,
and because I think all the stuff that he's on, the interviews that he's been.
Well, it's because he's level-headed and he's not insulting people, and he's just going out and just having these conversations, and
he's gonna be like a Tulsi Gabbard.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of those where he makes too much sense, so they're gonna just like fuck him over at the last minute, probably. You know?
It's gonna be extreme. It's never good.
Yeah.
It's always gonna be extreme.
Yeah, they try so hard to like railroad people one way or the other.
Yes, definitely.
You have to tribalize. You have to be in the tribe, man.
Absolutely.
I'm on the Unfazed tribe.
We are the Unfazed tribe. Emmett and I are gonna run for Congress, guys.
Yes.
You got my vote.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll write it in.
Thank you.
I'll write it in.
We're far right extremists.
Yes, we are.
Yes. run it.
I'll write that in parentheses.
Yes.
Unfazed review, far right extremists.
Emmett put that on his Twitter for a while.
Yes, I did. Yeah, because everyone, it's like one of those things. Everyone likes to call you that, you know. And so yeah, you're right. For a while, I did say like I'm a far right extremist. Yeah,
that's hilarious. It was good. All right, so I thought of something fun we could talk about. Earlier on the Discord,
someone died.
Yes. R.I.P. Caboose. Let's see.
It's so sad.
I put 2 truths and a lie, and I thought we could talk about this.
Ooh.
Okay, so we'll play it live because I don't know if you guys saw it. I think Doombot saw it, but we'll play it right now. So 2 truths and 1 lie. I'm going to give you 3 options. A, Ben has flown a small plane. B, Emmett's dad was close friends with Gary Shandling, the comedian and actor. And C, we filmed a ghost hunt in Reno, Nevada in 2021, but the footage was lost. 2 truths and 1 lie.
I reckon the plane's a lie.
All right.
That's what I thought. I feel like we would have heard about that.
Okay. Next
I want A to be true, but I don't think it is.
Maybe it was a toy plane.
On the other hand, though, the third option sounds too not big of a deal. That sounds like that's like the big.
It's convenient.
All right, you guys ready? All right, so I did fly a plane. I took a flight lesson with our buddy Tarek a few years ago, and pre-COVID days, and actually pre-Unfazed days.
Yes.
I didn't think to vlog it or anything like that. It was before I was like heavy into making videos. And we flew a Diamond DA-20 plane, single prop plane, and took a flight lesson out in Mesa.
Really cool.
And it was sick, man. We went with an instructor, obviously, but like I took over the controls for part of the way, and then my buddy Tarek took over the controls on the way back. And obviously the instructor did the heavy parts of taking off and landing, but it was sick. It was really, really cool. And for someone who's scared of heights, it was like a cool face your fears type thing.
I just remember the diehard fans will know that my dad is friends with Gary Shandling because he mentioned it on the video we did with him.
Yeah.
I remember that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So no, I did technically fly a plane once, and I would
Indiana Benjamin.
Yes. Yeah. And the Temple of Plane.
Yes.
But but the lie was we filmed a ghost hunt in Reno and it disappeared. That did not happen. Fact or fiction? Did we fool you? Yes. But anyway, we did. The only thing that ever actually, we've been very fortunate in regards to like not losing footage and not fucking up. Mm-hmm. But the only time anything like that ever happened was, I think, when did you live down in Tucson? Was that 2019?
Earlier than that, 2015 through...
What?
Yeah.
When you lived in Tucson?
Yeah. Oh, well, okay, I lived in Tucson twice.
When you had your apartment?
Yeah, when I had my apartment, that was 2019, 2020.
Okay, so 2019, maybe into early 2020, pre-COVID. My buddy James and I went down to visit you because Emmett had just moved down there. So we're like, oh, let's cruise down and say hey to Emmett. And we went down, and James and I went to Tombstone, which you guys are probably familiar with from the movie, the Western town. and we went there and we vlogged it pretty extensively. It was like as Unfazed was starting out, I thought, oh, this would be a cool place to vlog. And excuse me, I'm belching up sushi. We went there. We did, the cemetery during the day, and then we went into the Birdcage Saloon, which is this badass old saloon. I'm sure Lever Action has probably been there. And there's like bullet holes in the wall. Have you been there? Was I right?
I have. No,
Holy shit!
No.
All right. Well, it was really cool, and we recorded on my Canon at the time. I had it wasn't the M50. I forget what Canon I had. One of the T2i, I think, and we recorded there and did the whole thing, and we did like a kind of a half-assed ghost hunt because it was during the day, and like we were kind of, I hadn't really done that many videos like that at that point. And anyway, when we got back, like all the footage from Tombstone was gone. Literally, some pictures from the cemetery were there, and then pictures from like as we were leaving, but all the footage in between of like in the town was gone.
What the fuck?
And that's the only time that ever happened. And
That's
that
so
one
weird.
really weirded us out because it was like, well, shit. Like, was it because the birdcage is allegedly haunted, or did we just fuck up because I was with James and James? I don't know. Something bad happened.
Things that would tend to go awry for some
Yeah.
reason.
One time, I mean, I love James. He's a good guy, but like when he was first starting out, when he was a little more green, like he's more experienced now with film stuff.
Yeah.
But I remember like one time we did a video, I think on that same trip, and he didn't record audio
Classic.
with
Yeah,
Emmett, like, and also all Emmett's footage, like you couldn't hear him. Yeah, so nothing really got released from that trip. We like tried to do a mall vlog, and like the audio fucked up because
Yes.
so nothing got released from that trip. But that's the only time anything like that has ever happened. Like the Tombstone footage mysteriously disappearing.
We should go back to that mall and see if it's still even open.
Yeah,
there are some interesting
Foothills,
malls.
the
Yeah,
Foothills Mall.
Foothills Mall,
Yeah.
and there's another one closer to Central Tucson that's
Ooh.
interesting too. I bet you they're fucking gone, but we'll see. Yeah.
I heard Fiesta is fully gone now.
Fiesta. No more
Yeah.
Fiesta.
No more Fiesta. The
Too
most
bad.
popular
Fiesta
Unfazed
Mall.
video. Yes, for whatever reason, that's.
I originally recommended that. I think that was one of the ones that, like, very early on Phase days, I had recommended going to Fiesta.
Thank you, man.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, that was a cool one. That was. I know you guys heard me talk about it before, but like legit, that was like one of the coolest videos I ever did. I had this feeling like I need to go out there and try to vlog it one more time because I knew they were going to tear it down. And I'd done one video previously, like 10 or a year before, 10 months or a year before, and I thought sometimes you just get this like filmmaker or whatever you want to call me, vlog maker intuition, and I was like, I got to go out there one more time. And I went out there, and like literally security yelled at me. I was like, hey, what are you doing? I told him like, hey man, like I'm just here to document the history. And he ended up being like a really nice dude. He seemed pretty based, and like we started talking, and he's like, hey, like I got to go in and like clean up some stuff and like check on some of the electrical circuits and stuff in there. He's like I asked him, I was like, could I come in and do some video? He's like, I'll tell you what. He's like, I'm kind of scared to go in there because there's a lot of like assholes and squatters and stuff in there. He's like, if you be my backup, he's like, you can film all you want. And I got to go in with him, and it was so fucking cool, man. So I'm so incredibly proud of that video because it was like such a rare opportunity.
That's our biggest video on Unfazed now.
Yeah, it's at like
yeah.
I think 35,000
Yep.
views,
Mhm.
which is big for us because usually my views are like 200, 300
Yeah.
views, just like
Which is cozy.
the core base. Watch
One
it.
day.
Yeah, one day, man. Yeah, so it's and it's
One love.
yeah. Sometimes you get frustrated, it's like, oh fuck, it only got 200 views or whatever. But then one like that blows up with like 35,000. I'm like, fuck yeah.
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
But that video was super cool to film because it was just like so surreal being in there, and it's crazy because it doesn't exist anymore now. Like you can't.
So
Yeah.
weird,
No one
man.
else can vlog it.
Yeah. I noticed you got a lot of comments saying like, how did you get in? I've been wanting to film this.
Yeah.
That's
And then
cool.
other,
though.
other people are like, I just break in, and we're kind of like,
I just break.
eh.
How the fuck do you get away?
Yeah,
How do you do
can,
that?
you
Yeah.
can, but like you got to be careful. It's like
Yeah.
there's been stuff we've done in the past. Like I won't get too deep into it. Where like we've done like pretty innocuous videos. Where it's just like literally us just like going checking out like an old site or whatever.
And we got fucked.
And we got like like literally like like law enforcement like,
Yeah,
hitting
yeah.
us up like,
Yeah.
hey, like you guys can't do that like this.
Yeah.
And it was like nothing. Like you go back and look at the video and you're like, that's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
So like there's been enough things like that happening where they're like, hey, you can't do that. Where it's like we have to be conscious of getting hit with a trespassing fine or God forbid jail time or something like that. So we got to be careful in case it's monitored because there's just been one too many things where it's kind of like, all right, we gotta obey the rules,
Yeah.
which is fine, and if the channel does get bigger, that's an inevitability.
Yeah.
So we just gotta just be careful, So it's like yeah, I could break into lots of places, but when I'm going to show it to the whole world, it's probably not the best idea with my face and my name and our information and stuff. It's kind of fucking stupid.
We got into the White House.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like, yeah, if it was more of an anonymous channel, like, yeah, I'd probably do a lot of urban exploration and I'd trespass a shit ton. But the fact that, like, you have our real names on our faces, like, I'm not going to do that, just because I don't want to go to jail,
And it makes
That's
you think
the
about
thing.
the other urban exploration channels that do that. Like, how do they get away with it?
I don't know.
They're huge.
A really sick one, though, I don't know if you guys watch them, Dark Exploration films. Do you ever watch them?
I've heard of them, yeah.
Those guys are fucking legit. You should subscribe to them. Like, they're super good. I've never talked to them or anything. That'd be cool to talk to them, but I just really like their shit. And they go to amazing locations, and I have no idea how they get in. I have no idea. I don't think they get permission. I think they just break in. But their videos are so fucking good. But they're huge. They're like a massive channel. And I'm like, how are you guys not getting popped with trespassing fines?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
It makes you wonder.
Because they're like,
Yeah.
I mean, their early stuff, they had to have been trespassing. Like, maybe now they're big
Right.
enough to get permission to go to places, but, like, those first 50 videos, probably not, dude.
Yeah,
Probably
I can't
not.
imagine.
But,
They show their
There's-
faces, or
Yeah.
yeah, they show
I guess it
they do
depends
show
on
their
the
faces,
channel.
yeah. Yeah.
There's a Scottish one that I can't think of the name of the channel, but it's 3 Scottish dudes, and they constantly are trespassing. They show them actively trespassing over signs and stuff, and they've never had an issue with it. So I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
it depends on where it is.
Yeah.
And out here, a lot of, like, tribal land, they get very upset
Very
about
touchy.
stuff.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I guess it just depends on the channel and who's watching. But yeah, I don't know how the big channels do it that are all about, urban exploration. Because I'd love to. Yeah, if like nobody cared, like yeah, I would probably do the same thing as those guys. But you get a couple slaps on the wrist, and you're kind of like, all right, I'm not gonna fuck with it because we don't want to get fined for doing
fuck
stuff.
that, yeah.
Yeah. So we try to keep it on the up and up. We try to keep it legit. So like that one, it was really cool getting legit permission from the security guy and like him unlocking it for me because I'm like, okay, cool. I get the opportunity to see this place that's not going to exist, and like it actually was like kind of dangerous and really cool looking, but also like I don't have to worry about like a detective hitting me up 2 weeks later. You know
Yeah,
what I
because
mean?
it's like clearly you got permission.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's important.
Yeah, so that one was legit, and we did have permission. It was super cool. So I try to do more stuff like that. Another channel, if you guys like that kind of stuff, I really like Bright Sun Films. You guys ever watch that channel? Super good. They do like a tiny bit of urban exploration, but more of like abandoned places and like places that like went bankrupt and disappeared, and like the history of the companies and stuff. And they're super cool. Bright Sun Films. That's like one of my favorite channels. Like fall asleep to. Like it's like the dude's voice is very chill, and just like you just relax and listen to it.
Does he have like a quiet voice as he's
Yeah.
yeah.
He's kind of
I get it. Yeah.
He did a
That's cool.
documentary actually. It's on Amazon. You probably find it on YouTube too, called Closed for Storm, and it was all about Six Flags New Orleans that was open for a couple years, and then it got just totally wrecked in Hurricane Katrina back in like 2005
gosh,
or
yeah.
2006 or something like that. And like that was one of his early things of going and like documenting that theme park.
That would be so
And
cool.
it was so fucking good. Like
Man,
yeah, and there's a
yeah.
lot of videos of it on his YouTube channel too, but it's so cool, man. I love that kind of stuff.
Damn.
I would definitely like to do more of that kind of stuff too. But, kind of like Emmett said a while back on a podcast, like malls are like urban caves.
Yeah.
Like going in and like exploring the caves, and it's kind of weird because like I feel like in a few more years like there's going to be very few left.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're going to
Yeah.
get demolished.
Yeah,
and-
I was thinking of like Fallout. As you play those Fallout games, that's what it's like. You go into a abandoned mall and there's like the ghouls and shit that come after you. That's what exactly what you went through.
It was, yeah. It was,
See?
and what was crazy about that, not to repeat myself too much, but it was fucking cool.
Yeah.
I was like legitimately like nervous and really on my
I'm
toes
sure, yeah.
because the dude was like, he gave me this metal baton. He's like, here, take this, and it was like a fucking like tutorial level in a game. I swear to God. And he's like, I don't have my gun this time, so we got to be careful. I'm like,
Oh no, a
Shit,
stealth
okay.
mission. Yeah.
and literally he told me he'd been shot at in there. He's like, yeah, one time he's like they just started shooting at me from down the corridor, and I was like, holy
And
shit.
you're holding your baton.
But what's so weird about it is like usually like I'd be like, okay, red flag, I don't want to be an idiot and go in and get killed. But there was just something about it where I'm like, nah, I'll be fine. Like just sometimes you get this like feeling, and maybe that was stupid of me, but like I was like, nah, this is a cool opportunity. It's daytime, like fuck it, I'm gonna go in, and like
cool.
I'm glad I did because
Yeah.
it's gone now. You guys ever done anything like similar to that, or like have you ever dipped your feet in? Oh, I know Lever Action has dipped your feet into making videos, but like
Don't tell us about anything illegal.
yeah, you can allude to it. I don't care. But Airline food. Have you ever done anything like that, or any ambitions to do anything like that, or?
Nah. I
No?
film like random videos on my phone. That's pretty much it. Nothing
Okay.
extreme.
Interesting. Okay. What about you, Doom? You got any urban exploration stories or video interest?
Urban exploration, not really. Yeah, nothing comes to mind. I'd like to make some videos eventually.
You should, man.
I've just, my days are pretty busy at the moment, but I have some plans. But
That's sick, man. You totally should. One of our buddies recently, Martin, I think he's only been in one video. He did the Terror Trader video with us. Really good friend of mine. He's recently kicked off a YouTube channel, and his Instagram has been growing. And it's been really cool to see someone who started out just like with a casual interest, who was just one of my friends, like really starting to like make some strides and do stuff. And he was always very calculated, kind of like you, where he was like, I remember him talking about stuff for like years in advance, like literally like 2 years in advance. He'd like have these little ideas and little things, then actually seeing them like come to fruition is like really
That's
cool.
Yeah. He's
So-
very technically minded.
He's very
for sure,
technically
yeah.
minded, yeah, and just a cool dude. So you totally should, man, because life's short, you know, and just why the fuck not? Like worst case scenario, it's just a record for yourself and your friends, you know. But best case scenario, you know, it grows and reaches a lot of people and entertains people, and you should do it, man, for sure.
yeah,
I'm just a hungry consumer. I just watch it.
No,
my
that's
job.
sick. Nothing wrong with that, dude. Yeah, no, we love. I mean, this would be nothing without you. So thank you. Lever Action, talk about your stuff, because you. What's interesting about you, man, is I know you said your channels have been shut down.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's funny. But that being said, all shit talk aside, like what's the game plan with that? Because I would like to see you make more stuff. I see like you'll dip your toes in it, you'll make some stuff, and then like I don't know if it's just because the channel gets deleted, but like I feel like you pull back, like you dip your toe in, you pull back. Like what's going on with your YouTube stuff? What's going on?
Yeah, I mean, I get a lot of ideas, and I really want to make more videos, and like sometimes I'll even make one or two, and fully edit them and everything, and then I'm like, yeah, nobody wants to watch this shit, and I'm just like, bleh, get rid of it.
Yeah,
So,
that's one of the hurdles
yeah.
you got to get over. I mean, just try it. Just put it out
You need to have the channel that you put the videos on, and then you need to have the shit talk channel.
Yeah.
Like a separate channel. That's what my dad does. He has his account for Fave where he puts his music and stuff, and then he has a channel called Charles Martel. It's some historical figure that he really likes, and that's when he fucking calls people an asshole and
Yep.
gets really based, and there you go.
Yeah. It's true.
Okay, I'll do that.
Do it. Yeah.
Yeah, you should have a burner account.
Yeah,
where
exactly,
it's just
yeah.
your if you want to call it your troll account, whatever.
Yeah.
Just have that. I have multiple YouTube channels. I have one where I go and just like watch other stuff and do silly comments and stuff,
Yeah.
and then I have another. Well, I have a few YouTube channels actually, but yeah, the main one that I go on the most is, my personal one, and then I have Unfazed, which I'm on like 50/50.
And call your burner account Benjamin Sturek.
Yes. Yes, and put my social security number on it too. Yes. You have my full permission. Yes. Just go really unhinged. Yeah. This sounds great. That sounds great. Do exactly that. Yes.
Oh, no.
But yeah, you should.
I was thinking, I was actually probably gonna film. I don't know. I'll probably delete it again, but I was gonna go back out. I just found an abandoned bottling plant
Oh shit.
by
Wow.
River,
See
out
that?
where I was hiking recently.
Out by
and,
by Hoover or Uber?
What?
What did you say? What's it by?
Oh, out by a river.
Oh, by
Oh.
River. I'm sorry, I misunderstood you.
Yeah, they used to build all that kind of shit on the river so they could use the water for the natural power. And if you go in it, it's just like the shell of like a stone building. But if you go in that, there is a fully intact cellar, just like in the middle of the fucking woods under this building. The whole underneath of the building is just open, and it's actually like safe and structurally intact.
Oh, that's cool.
See, now that's a video I would want to watch.
Yeah.
Like, just, dude, fucking go do it. Go do it. Like, absolutely.
Yeah.
I would watch that immediately. Just, just do it. And
Did you discover
Be
this on
safe.
your own? Did someone tell you about it, or like how do you know?
Yeah, so I told Ben recently I was out hiking with my son, and I helped this older gentleman
Oh,
back
yes.
into
Tell the
town
story.
who
Tell
was
the story.
dude, please do tell us
collapsing
this.
on the trail.
Wow.
and he told me about it.
Oh, the man that was collapsed that you saved told you about this. This is insane.
Tell the
that
story.
sounds like a side quest from Fallout.
Tell the whole story. Tell the whole story for everyone.
That's a side quest right there.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, tell the side quest story. We want to hear. Come on.
Okay. Side. I strayed from the main quest path to go into the woods there, right? And I'm going with my son. We're a couple miles in, and there's this guy walking along, and he's like leaning, I mean, he looks like he's just gonna flop over. He's bent in half, basically sideways. And I'm walking slowly. I'm just kind of watching him, going behind him for a little bit, and he literally just fell over. Like he just, he's like, whoa, and he just fell backwards and spilled his water everywhere.
Oh, no.
And I was like, oh, yeah.
Wow.
I go up, I'm like, do you need help, dude? Like, what's going on? I help him up. He says he's got diabetes. And that he really can't walk anymore.
Oof.
And it's basically like his back is hurting, but I think it was like like an organ issue because it's diabetic.
Yeah.
And I helped him up. I took his bag. I gave him my water, and I started walking with him because he literally couldn't walk. So this guy is just, his full weight is on me, and he keeps pulling down and falling back. And then I'm with my son, who is 5, and so he started getting tired because we're miles into the trail now. So I'm carrying my son in one arm, and I've got this guy in his back.
Holy shit!
That's hardcore, dude.
4 miles back to town, and then I checked on him. I made it safe. I got him to a relative's house. I left him there because I was like, I gotta go home too.
Mm.
I had to walk home from there because the car's at the other end of the trail.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, that was fun.
So you had to? Did you have to walk like return back on the trail to get back to your car?
No, I just literally, it was actually slightly closer to my place from there, so I just walked to the place.
And so he said to you, "Thank you. I don't have any money, but I heard there's some loot in the cellar at the old mill."
Yeah.
Mark it on your map.
I don't have anything to give you, but here, take my horse. Please. He's all I have. Prickly Pete is his name.
That's incredible.
That's
man.
amazing, dude. Well, let me tell you, like, I just love your personality, and I'm really glad to have you, as just a friend and part of the Unfazed crew, and all you guys. Thank you for just being amazing. But like, you're interesting, dude. And like, my thing is, like, put your shit out there. Like, sometimes I'll make videos, and like, a video I almost didn't release that I thought no one's gonna care about was going up to Wickenburg, flipping the coin. Like, literally, like, I almost just deleted that. Like, I was almost like, I don't think anyone cares. But then, like, sometimes you just put it out there, and, like, even if a few people like it, I'm like, okay, cool, that's good. Like, It doesn't have to be a smash hit, but, like, if it resonates with a couple people, I'm like, okay, well, maybe it's worth putting out there. So, like, you should just do that, man. Like, going to an old bottling plant, like,
that's so
in the
cool,
middle of the fucking wilderness, like, that's sick. Like, I would watch that. And honestly, what you could do as well is, like, make a YouTube video, 15-minute, 20-minute exploration, whatever. But maybe start dabbling in, like, shorts, like YouTube shorts. Just like, hey, check this out, like, get your stuff out there in, like, smaller bites. That's something I'm trying to experiment with more. And I'm thinking about, like, maybe releasing a couple shorts each week and also Instagram Reels and stuff. But that might be good for you to start out with, and then, like, occasionally release a bigger video on YouTube and get your feet wet, because... You never know, man.
Absolutely.
You might find an audience pretty quick with stuff like that.
Speaking of...
Yeah, I mean, you're right.
Speaking of videos, I was wondering, because Airline Food, you mentioned you do videos with your friends and stuff. What kind of stuff have you done? Is it like comedy sketches, or what is it?
Oh, no. It's just if we're at a party, I'll just...
Oh, just like candid?
Yes.
Okay.
That's
all right.
cool, though. That's cool, though, yeah. That's sometimes the best stuff.
Now, what...
no feature length. No.
Not yet, anyway.
Feature length, yeah.
Not yet, anyway. And Doombot, you said you have some aspirations of potentially making a YouTube channel or videos at some point. What could you tell us, like, what type of stuff you want to do? Are we talking hardcore porn? What are we talking about? I'm just kidding.
most of the stuff I watch is just like you guys. It's like people talking about stuff.
Hell yeah! Thanks, man.
Movie reviews, music reviews, like whatever. So I figure that's easy stuff to do, and I'm like interested in a lot of that stuff. Like even like the Emmett's Star Wars stuff. Like, I don't really care about Star Wars that much, but I just watch it because you have cool stuff to say about it.
Thanks, man.
So That's it. Yeah, that just something like that. I don't know. Just
That's
sitting
sick, man.
talking about stuff.
That's the best. Yeah, I find myself gravitating towards that. And I think we're going to see a lot more of that. That's actually one thing I want to talk to you guys about, and Emmett as well. There's a big writer's strike and actors strike going on right now in Hollywood. A gigantic strike that's like disrupting the movie industry right now, which is actually really good because there were a lot of shitty contracts and they were really fucking over the writers. And it's really good. It's good that this is happening right now. And a lot of celebrities are backing it and saying, hey, things need to change. But who knows how long this could go on? It could be a couple weeks, could be a couple months, but I think it's it's a big time for the movies right now. You got Oppenheimer, you got Barbie, it's Mission Impossible. It's like a cool time for the theater right now. But also, that being said, with the big strike and this gap in production of stuff, it's a really big time for YouTube and for Rumble and for stuff like that and for independent content
And for Rumble
creators.
Down.
And for Rumble Down,
Yeah.
the classic, the American classic. So I think, like personally, I find myself gravitating towards that stuff too, like podcasts, just two dudes talking shit or whoever it is, or people voicing their opinion on stuff. And I'm sure that reflects in our podcast. It's like that's the kind of stuff that I like too. Like I just like kind of just going back to basics and like basic vlogs of people exploring cool places, people just speaking freely without being fully censored, and kind of giving an interesting perspective on things that I might not have thought about. Like that kind of shit, like that's what it's all about, I feel like. And it's like, yeah, I love to go to the movies. Like just saw Mission Impossible, it was a lot of fun. Like went and saw Indiana Jones, like it was fun. It was kind of shitty, but it was fun. It wasn't as bad as they said, but it wasn't great. It was middle of the road. But yeah, it's fun to watch that kind of stuff. But like at the end of the day, like when I'm chilling or at work or whatever, listening to stuff, like I just like listening to podcasts and like stuff that's very similar to what we put out.
Well, the issue is with a lot of with mainstream stuff in general. Like if you're talking unfazed, as you like to call it, the mainstream people don't want to pick that up, because if you were to grow and they look back at some of the stuff, people just pick stuff out and then cancel you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very interesting. So, we kind of have that working against us, but at the same time, it kind of works for us as well, because the people who do stick around and who are like-minded, or who know that we're not entirely serious and we're just having a good time and speaking freely, like those are the people we want sticking around. Like I want guys like you enjoying our stuff, and I don't care about some corporate head at Disney that's like trying to appease everybody and bend over backwards to act woke and virtue signal to everybody.
Yeah.
Like that's fake. Like people like that are fake. I mean, that being said, would I do a voiceover in a Disney movie? Sure, but like I don't know, dude. Like I'd rather, this is what it's all about, like connecting with like-minded people. I think that's what it's really about.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So before we wrap up, we've got to wrap up pretty quick here. I want to give you guys the floor to ask any questions, or if you had any conversation topics you want to talk about, or any questions for us, feel free. We could just go down the line. We could just
One at a time.
One at a time. I was at airline food, then Doom, then lever action. Just anything you want to throw at us, feel free. The floor is yours.
Think fast. Whoa. We won't be here for long.
Yeah, I just wrote down some random crap.
Oh, great.
So in Adelaide, where I'm from, you guys do all these like dead mall stuff and all that type of stuff. I've never seen a shopping centre close. Like where I'm from,
Really?
if you want to go to the nightclubs, you got to go to the city,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like one lane. So in Arizona, like, how big is it compared to South Australia?
Arizona's huge, man. Arizona is gigantic. Let me look. I don't know off the top of my head like the size of the state versus Australia, but let's look it up. So you mean the size of the state of Arizona versus
Or
the
even
continent
like
of
the
Australia?
built up part.
Sort of the
like,
infrastructure, yeah.
Oh, okay.
There was who's that comedian we saw recently?
Joe List.
Joe List. Even
Great
he, and he's American, and even he was like amazed. He was like, "You guys have like 5 cities in one here. It is massive. It's very flat and long, and
Do you
goes
mean
everywhere."
all of Arizona, or do you want me to do like the Phoenix metropolitan area that we live in?
or even just where you're from, like.
Okay, yeah. So I'll do the Phoenix metropolitan area.
There's definitely no like one like single. Here are the clubs. There's like clubs. There's so many options.
Yeah,
everywhere. I don't even know. I have no idea.
Yeah.
And in terms of malls, there are still a few that are thriving. There's one we go to often that is thriving, but there's so many that a lot of them just fell to the wayside because the area that they're in just got depressed. But yeah, it's gargantuan. It's a little weird. I think it's the fifth largest. in the state?
Yeah,
Or in the
In
country?
the country, yeah. Is that miles? So
14,599 miles squared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's pretty big. So let's look at Phoenix. Well, we'll do Arizona versus what's your city you live in? I'll do Phoenix versus
Adelaide.
Adelaide.
Phoenix is weird though because it's the metro area that is Phoenix. I mean, it's not really just Phoenix.
Exactly. Yeah,
Like,
that's kind of hard to explain to people.
all
So
of-
like
all of the cities around it, Mesa, Chandler, blah 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 blah.
They're all connected,
Everything is
yeah.
just one, just one city.
yeah, so it started as like here's Phoenix, right? But literally you don't notice. You just enter another city and like it's all connected.
You'll
know?
see a little sign like you're now entering Scottsdale,
But
but
it's
it's
just-
there's buildings.
The road
It's
just
like nothing-
there's not like
Yeah.
gaps between like Glendale, Surprise, Phoenix, Mesa, Scottsdale, Chandler. Like there's not like desert in between them. It's all just a continuation of city. It all just keeps going. So yeah, 15,000 square miles is the Phoenix metropolitan area. But let's do Phoenix, AZ versus Adelaide, Australia.
Things with the I. Adelaide.
ADELAIDE.
AIDE. Yeah.
Australia size. Let's see.
It's BS.
Versus.
Oh, versus.
Yeah, versus. Let's see. I could do size of Arizona compared to Australia. It's not letting me do the city, or like your Adelaide city.
Arizona is about 26 times smaller than Australia as a whole.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Arizona's 1/26th of Australia.
Yeah.
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 Alright.
But that's the state is huge.
Yeah.
Even Phoenix is not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Half
The
of the
state
whole
is
state,
the
but
state is
the state
gargantuan
is
for
massive,
sure.
yeah.
It's fucking huge. So like literally like, the Phoenix metropolitan area, 15,000 square miles, right? It's like a big area. You got multiple cities, like 10 cities all in one. It's approaching the size of somewhere like Los Angeles. Like it's really big. But the state, there are a lot of stretches of nothingness. So like when you get out of Phoenix and you head up towards Anthem, which is like, if we got on the freeway here, like 25 minutes north of here, then you drive like through the desert for like an hour and a half, and then you get up to a town like Prescott, which is like up in the mountains, and then you go further.
Like Globe.
Yeah, you go further. Exactly, Globe. You go further beyond that, and then there's Flagstaff, which is like our place where you go skiing. So yeah, it's a huge state, man.
I'm looking it up here. Does metropolitan Phoenix include everything? I'm not sure.
Yeah, it should include metropolitan area. Would include everything.
All the way through Maine.
Everything connected to
Okay,
Phoenix.
yeah.
So it would not include like other cities like Tucson or anything like that.
Right,
It would be
right,
the
right.
ones that basically the ones that are like connected.
Yeah. So it's nearly 5 million people that live here.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're in the U.S. We're the 10th biggest state.
Yep. Guess so.
Yeah. I would assume just behind New York, Texas, and I feel like we probably have more people than New York, possibly. I don't know. They're all really stacked up.
Yeah. Yeah. We're along there.
New York
yeah.
City is like 18 million. I think New York City is either between 15 or 18 million.
That's fucking
That's
crazy.
just New York City.
That's insane.
dude.
That's fucking insane.
I'm not going there anytime soon.
Yeah, New York was
Yeah.
cool, but I wouldn't know.
Unless I'm Spider-Man.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I hope that answered your question. Yeah.
Do you have any more questions?
There's so many questions I could ask. But
What's your favorite color?
I'm alright.
Feel free, man. You could.
Blue. It's gotta be blue.
Blue.
What's
Mine's
your
blue
favorite?
too. There you go.
There you
Yeah.
I say blue, but I don't know if I really have a favorite color. It depends on what I'm looking at.
So deep.
Like sometimes I'm like, what was that?
Non-binary, non-colory.
Exactly.
That's right.
Non-color.
Yes.
Yeah, big time.
2023.
Don't you forget it.
My
But
color.
it depends, Like I don't know. Like I like blue, but like I don't think I'd necessarily want to have a blue car. You know what I mean? Like it depends on what I'm
But
looking.
are you blue Abadiya Badai?
Yes.
That's the
If I
question,
were
yeah.
green, I would die.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do like green. I like red, but I like not necessarily this kind of red. I like more kind of like maroon.
I didn't think we'd talk about this.
Like, yeah.
I love black, but that's arguably the absence of color, right?
Right.
But I wear a lot of black. I like black.
The black is all the colors. You're a kid and you mix all the paint together.
Yeah, I like black and gray and blue.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I think brown is all the colors. Really, it always mixes to shit.
Like poop.
Like, oh yeah. You eat all the food, and turns into yeah.
I like maroon 5.
Maroon 5.
All right, was that your last question, airline food?
All right.
What's your first name, airline food?
airline?
What's your
Raffaelli.
Raffaele, that's awesome. You're a Soul Calibur character, man. Yeah.
Do people call you Raph?
Unfortunately, yeah.
You don't like it?
I want to be called like after the Ninja Turtle, like Raphael.
Raphael. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm a big Ninja Turtles fan, and I gotta say that new trailer looks stupid. It looks way too Gen Z for my taste, man. Like it just does not look. I don't know if it even would be
That's
considered.
all.
I don't know if it would even be considered Gen Z. I think it would be the tier below Gen Z. It would
Yeah,
be
whatever that is. I don't know what
the
it's called.
Zoomer kids or whatever. So like it's.
I think it's still Gen Z. I think they're all
Yeah.
Gen Z, just like we're all technically millennials.
Yeah, and I don't mean to shit on Gen Z. I know a lot of our audience is Gen Z, but like, you know what I'm saying, like the cliche, like the lingo and shit like that. Yeah, the new Ninja Turtles looks stupid. I want it to be like Cowabunga Dudes, 90s, you know? Like,
Yeah.
that's what I want. But Raphael would be cool. Do I have permission to call you Raphael?
Whatever you like.
All right, Raphael, airline food. Thank you, sir. Doombot, any questions or topics you want to throw at us before we dip out?
Yeah, I've been curious if you guys ever, I've been curious if you guys have ever considered doing like a second part to any of your like skits or any of that stuff, because I always watch them and they seem like you guys had this spur of the moment idea and you just made it.
Yeah.
And so I always wonder if there's any that you guys were ever like that was a really like fun one to make or like a really good one, and we should definitely do another one of that same thing.
Absolutely. Skits are always on our mind, and I don't know why we don't jump on doing them more. I think because sometimes we get a little intimidated thinking there's going to be like a lot of planning with it, like when there's really not. Like a lot of times you can just jump in and do it. But I think sometimes we build them up, and at least I do. I build it up in my mind like, oh, we need like a lot of resources and time to do this. But really you don't. And so we just kind of put them off. And I have a whole bunch, literally we were just talking about them when we had dinner earlier, of like a whole shit ton of ideas that I save in my phone. Like I have like a laundry list of like legit like probably over 50 ideas that like we could very easily shoot into shorts. And so to answer your question, yeah, like it's definitely on our radar to do more. It's just a matter of like just doing it.
And the energy to do it is very sporadic, and when you have it, it's like it goes for a while. Like we did the Mundane Joker and the Angry Chefs in the same day, as well as we did. You guys remember the one where it's like the action heroine, and I have like the blonde wig, and like just being an asshole.
I was gonna say that's probably my favorite one.
Thanks, man. Yeah,
that was so much fun to make.
We did that like an hour or two after we filmed all of the Lefebvre's Inc. skit on Lefebvre's. It was the same day.
Yeah, we like literally
So
like
it's
had
just, like-
lunch and then we just walked out and we're like, let's do this.
Yeah.
And our buddy James joined us, and it was like real. We shot it in maybe like an hour and a half.
Yeah. So it's like you either do a shitload of stuff or you do nothing. It's weird.
It's
very
ebbs
weird,
and flows. But yeah, to answer
Yeah.
your question, totally we
Yeah.
plan to do more, and it's like kind of always on my mind, but we just don't do as much as we should.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Great question. Thank you. Lever Action, you're up. Any conversation topics or questions?
Yeah, I mean, I was actually going to ask about skits too, like, because the skits are great. And then, speaking of like channel advice stuff, there's this one channel that's found like good success, but the guys are also really successful as actual stand-up comedians and performers out of Ireland. And like they got famous by just doing these silly little 2-minute long skit videos on YouTube that like half of the hilarity comes from the bad props and like just the silliness of the setup of what they did, because they did it in like, you know, clearly like they made crap in a half an hour and stuck it on the wall behind, you know?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like that.
Sometimes low budget is
But it
great, like
makes
how
it better.
kind of like how Adult Swim used to be, like some of that Tim and Eric type shit. Like
Yeah.
I actually
It's a spaghetti.
I actually met Tim Heidecker at when I was working at Crescent Ballroom, which is the venue here, and he was there for some comedy thing, and I talked to him. It was around the time we were writing one of our scripts. I think it was Spunk, and I was talking to him, and he was like acted really into the idea, and he gave me his email, and he's like, "Hey, send me some of your stuff."
Wow.
And I sent him like the first 15 pages of one of our scripts. Never heard back from Tim Heidecker, and I was like, "Ah, this fuck." But at the same time, like, he probably gets that all the time, all the time. So I wasn't even mad at him. I mean, he was nice to even just talk, you know.
Yeah, it's cool.
But never heard back from heard back from Tim Heidecker. But that's one thing I really want to do. So, sorry, we'll still address your question. What was the actual question?
I guess there was no actual question. I was just talking about skits. You guys doing more skits? Oh, I guess my question would be, would you do like I had thrown out like some kind of Unfazed Universe sitcom? Would you guys ever consider doing like a very short form, like
Just
like 2-3
take it away.
minute?
Just earlier today, we were talking about an admittedly really bad pilot episode for a sitcom we wrote, and it just we were trying too hard. I mean, you don't usually try too hard to do anything. Usually, it just comes out naturally. And that was the problem.
Yeah.
But we were trying to like we knew we wanted to do a sitcom type thing, but we didn't have an idea. So we were like, hey, we like Seinfeld. Let's try to make it like Seinfeld.
Mm-hmm.
And all I remember was that like. Everyone was a caricature of themselves.
Yeah.
But for some reason, like you, me, and my brother Max all lived together. I don't know.
Yeah.
And Max was almost like an Indiana Jones type because he's a history major. So we blew him up and we made him like
we made him like Indiana Jones.
Yeah, he's like an archaeologist, and we made me retarded. I'm just like playing with toys all the time, which is true. But like I remember I sit in the back seat in the car and I can't drive. Like all this shit.
my character was just like constantly just surrounded by hot women.
Yeah, you're like Jerry. You're just trying to have sex.
My character was it was Ben, but we had different last names. Yeah. And so instead of Ben Sturrock, I was like Ben Stewart.
It's like Drake and Josh.
That. Yeah, and it was like me like I was a photographer with like hot models, and then the model like somehow the toys he's playing with like fucks up her photo shoot. It was
bad.
It was really bad.
It was
it was like
bad,
probably one of the worst things we wrote.
Easily the worst thing we ever wrote.
It was called the working title was called Lead Baboons. It was total shit, man. It was
so bad. It was so bad. I don't even know. What does lead baboons even mean? I don't remember what we called it that.
I think it's like a lead balloon. It's gonna crash. And we're like, let's call it Lead Baboons. It's fucking stupid as shit. So yeah, we wrote a sitcom. And so we're not gonna do that one, but maybe one day we'll read it to you.
It's so bad, guys. You don't want to say it.
It's so bad. But as far as like us, did you ever watch Bachelors of Scottsdale?
Oh man. Yeah.
That was like that was our early attempts when we were like I think we were still in college.
Yeah, I'll have to send you guys Bachelors. I'll post it in the thing after this.
Did you send them the supercut?
Yeah, I will send them the supercut. Yeah,
we did like Emmett came up with the concept. It was like a rip on or like a riff on reality shows, and like people living together, and that was like kind of sitcom-ish, and like that was like one of the early things we filmed.
And we technically did like 3 episodes, and they're all just disconnected. They don't flow. The first one was me and my friend Tyler, and we filmed it on his iPad like years ago. And then the third one was you, me, and Tyler, and that was a little bit more, had more of a plot. It was also pretty. I think they got progressively funnier as well.
They did.
And the third one, we really went like balls out for some reason.
We had a legit crew.
Yeah.
I got a former friend and acquaintance who like turned out to be a legit like cinematographer for like car commercials, and he did it. And like we hired actresses who were like, we didn't even sight unseen, big mistake. We like just. They showed up without us even knowing what they looked like, but luckily, like one of them was attractive, so it worked.
Yeah.
The other one was like fucking psychopath, weirdo, but luckily. And then who else was there? My buddy Tarek was there. Great guy, and
we had a sound guy and a camera guy.
We had a sound guy. Sound guy had a connection.
Makeup lady. Oh yeah.
Oh my ex-girlfriend Melanie, she did makeup on it. And it was a legit like set, like production. It was super
fun. There were more characters. You brought in a couple of your friends. And
Oh, Brian was there. Brian, yeah. And it was fun. It was it was super low budget. It was no budget, you know. It was just like, well, I think we paid a few people, like the sound guy and a couple of the actresses, you know, like, you know, $80 here, $100 there, like whatever we could scrounge up. But it was like no budget. It was just us fucking around.
Yeah, that's a good call. I'll send you that because that's the closest thing to a sitcom.
Yeah. We'll send you. Bachelors of Scottsdale. But would we like to do a sitcom in the future? Fuck yeah.
We would.
Yeah,
no lead baboons though.
No lead baboons. No, it was. It would be funny to go back and read it. That's something we'd totally like to do though, because we love Seinfeld. I love King of Queens. I love that '70s show. I love 2.5 Men, like stuff like that. Frasier, I thought was fucking great when I was a kid. But yeah, one day, like that would be sick to do something like that. Something episodic. But one thing we do want to do, I talked about in the last podcast, was do a table read of the screenplays that we've written. Yeah. And I think that would be super fucking fun. Because I listened to Conan O'Brien with Kevin Nealon and Dana Carvey. Did you guys see that? Where they did like a a table read of their movie Hans and Franz from Saturday Night Live from like the early 90s. They wrote this feature-length script and it never got made, but it came really close to getting made. Like Schwarzenegger was interested in being part of it as like their Arnold cousin. Sorry, I keep belching. And it came really close to getting made, like a Wayne's World type movie that we never got. And hearing them read it like cracked me up, and I'm like, dude, we need to do that. So we've written three feature-length scripts together. Two comedies, one family-friendly cartoon, and then we got like a quarter of the way through a Western drama together, which I'd love to go back and finish because it was fucking legit. It was actually really good.
It was cool. It was so dark though. We did all this like super goofy fun shit, and then suddenly we're like, everyone's evil and dying.
Yeah,
and
we did
dark.
basically we did like a Benchwarmers, Step Brothers type comedy with a little bit of like maybe Napoleon Dynamite in it, and then we did like a fucking like Oliver and Company, fun like comedy, like Bugs Life type comedy, and then we did kind of like a Dumb and Dumber type comedy. And then we went into like a fucking No Country for Old Men. So I would like to read those to you guys eventually. I think like pretty soon. Like I think like in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, we've been talking about doing that for a long time.
Yeah, American Spunk I think would be the easiest because we wrote it with the idea of us just producing it ourselves.
Right.
So it's literally just me and Emmett and then like a few
side characters
that come in and out. But it would be easy to read just the two of us because the other ones, there's a lot of ancillary characters, and like I think we'd need like at least 3 or 4 other people to read the roles and some female voices and stuff. But definitely I'd love to make that happen like within the next like at least what do you think, next month maybe?
Yeah, just a matter of sitting down and doing it.
Yeah,
a couple mics. Yeah.
I'll make a promise to you guys. How about that? Keep reminding us about it first of all. But today's the 19th. I would say
it's on you.
We'll have
Remind us.
Yeah, it's on you. Buy more fucking shirts, you guys. I would say today's July 19th. I would say by August 10th we'll have an American Spunk table read out.
Easy.
Maybe sooner. Sooner.
Yes.
But anyway, guys.
And then the T-shirt. You gotta have the T-shirt for American Spunk.
Yes, that would be fucking sick. I have the All-American Rejects.
We should, honestly, that's a genius idea. We should come out with 3 shirts that are like movie posters of the scripts.
That would be great.
That would be really cool.
It'd be fun to have merch for the table reads.
Yeah.
That would be fucking
Just pretend
great.
like it's a real movie that came out.
That would be sick,
That would be great, yeah.
I do, there's so many.
That would be very cool.
That's a great idea. That is a great idea. You have a courtesy credit added to the film at the end. It'll say a special thanks. You get a special thanks credit. But dude, that's something I really want to do because there's so much funny shit. Like, not to toot my own horn, but like it was funny as fuck. Like the stuff we wrote together, and I feel like there's so many like little inside jokes that we still reference from our scripts. Just like these smug assholes like laughing at our own stuff.
Yeah.
Where like I want you guys to know about it too. Like
it's I think I mentioned this in the last podcast, but it's always so interesting. You can't judge your stuff until you have a lot of time distance from it
and forget a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. Like the first script we wrote called Three Guys. It was hilarious when we were writing it, but also we had gone back a couple times in the last year or so and read bits of it, and it cracked me the fuck up.
I haven't read it all the way through in years.
Yeah, I mean,
we wrote that like when we were young. Like we wrote that when I think I was 21 and Emmett was 20.
Like 20, almost 10 years ago.
Yeah. So like I would love to go back and read it because I haven't read it all the way through realistically, like from start to finish in probably 5 or 6 years.
I agree. Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
So that would be super fun to do. But I think Spunk would be the first one, just kind of introduce you guys to our stuff because like it's very us. It might be a little dated now actually. It'd be kind of funny.
Yeah, it would be funny. Yeah.
And then then I'd say Three Guys and then maybe Studio Cat at the end, and then we got to finish that fucking Western, man.
Yes, we do.
I haven't written in a long time, so that would be fun.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, we should probably get going. I got an early morning tomorrow, but thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for just being awesome. You guys are the best.
Have a good night, guys.
You too,
guys.
awesome.
Remain unfazed. Oh.